good, YouTube? I'm back with another banger, bro. We about to react to Larry Bird, and we about to find out how good is Larry Bird actually, bro. Hey, that's the name of today's video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's Larry Bizzle we about to react to, you know what I'm saying? It's the, what do we call him, bro? We call him the Jesus of basketball. No cap, this dude could do it all. I thought he was just a jump shooter, but this dude was averaging hella assists and rebounds. I'm like, what? And then I find out like Larry Bird like 6'9", 6'10", 6'8". I'm not even sure. I'm like, what? He was tall as hell like that. He was moving like that. And everybody want to act like KD the first person to ever move like that. It's astonishing, bro. Hey, but for Larry Bird, give me 2,000 likes in 24 hours. We've never beaten that. 2,000 likes in 24 hours. I'm going to do some Larry Bird dunks and passes in my next Larry Bird video. 2,000 likes in 24 hours. That's the only way I'm doing it though. And 90+% of y'all are not subscribed. So hey, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button. Enjoy the game. 2,000 likes in 24 hours and we doing some Larry Bird dunks and passes. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Players to ever touch a basketball. And together with Magic Johnson, the biggest NBA star of the 80s. What made him so successful considering he was quite unathletic? And how would he fare in today's NBA?
Crazy.
Did he win just because his teams were loaded? And where does he stand among the best shooters?
Reggie Miller.
Watch the rest of the video to find out. A hick from French Lick. Bird was born into a poor family in French Lick, Indiana, a town of 2,000 inhabitants.
That's it?
He grew up a shy, introverted kid who didn't talk much, and he did most of his talking on the basketball court. He grew up to 6'9" and played at small forward, but with his understanding of basketball...
6'9", what, in high school? No. They talking about college, right? He was not 6'9" in high school, no.
He could play whatever position he wanted. Larry finished his high school career as the best scorer in...
6'9" in high school? He was destined for greatness, bro.
...history, and he could choose where he wanted to go to college. He started playing for Bobby Knight at Indiana University, but didn't like the spotlight and being around so many people. He then settled at Indiana State University, where the pressure was much less than with the Hoosiers. Larry averaged 30.3 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 4.6 assists in college. The Sycamores were invincible in Bird's senior year, and became the #1 team in the country with a 33-win streak. Their only loss came in the 1979 NCAA Finals, where they played against Michigan State, led by senior guard Urban Johnson. Despite 19 points from Bird, Magic and his teammates celebrated the title in what was the most watched college basketball game in history at the time. Bird was named the Collegiate Player of the Year, leaving Indiana State as the 5th-ranked NCAA scorer of all time. He was already drafted.
Bro, Larry Bird's like, shit is crazy.
The Boston Celtics selected him in the NBA draft in 1978, hoping that Bird, who qualified for the NBA as a junior, would skip his senior year. He opted to stay in Indiana, and when he finally arrived in Boston, the Celtics looked nothing like their championship selves, with consecutive losing seasons. Bird then single-handedly caused the biggest turnaround ever seen.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Boston improved their record from the season before by 32 wins, and finished with 61 wins and 21 losses.
What?
Although his arch-rival Magic Johnson...
As a freshman?
...and won the title with the Lakers, Bird was named the Rookie of the Year with the average of 21.3 points.
With Magic Johnson in the league, you won Rookie of the Year?
0.5 assists. He also made
2010 and 4?
And first-team All-NBA.
First-team All-NBA?
In the MVP voting.
Bro, that's a crazy...
Into a great one.
That's a crazy rookie, bro.
A new green dynasty. After Bird's rookie year, the Celtics had
that's a crazy rookie year, bro.
Red Auerbach worked his magic and brought 2 new faces to Boston that would form one of the biggest dynasties in NBA history. Auerbach robbed Golden State by sending them the 1st and 13th pick in the 1980 draft in exchange for center Robert Parrish and the 3rd pick, which became Kevin McHale. Along
Kevin McHale!
The Celtics also had an all-star point guard, Nate Tiny Archibald, young and athletic forward Cedric Maxwell, and a few well-integrated role players that made the team complete. The head of the snake was, of course,
Larry Bizzle.
Larry Bird, who was second in MVP voting, en route to a league-leading 62-20 record. The Celtics avenged the...
Who won MVP that year? I'm going to guess Magic Johnson, maybe? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section.
...lost to the Sixers from the previous year. And after a tough 7-game series in the Eastern Finals, they were in the NBA Finals once again. There they would be met by the Houston Rockets, led by prime Moses Malone, who was arguably the best center in the league at the time. Malone averaged 23 and 16 in the series, but the Celtics were too good of a team and would win the title with 4 games to 2. Bird averaged 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists for the series. But the finals MVP went to Cedric Maxwell, who led the Celtics in scoring with 18 points per game.
Stupid.
But everybody already saw the new Green Dynasty. 2 bad years ensued, despite Bird's all-around excellence and McHale's improvement. They once again were the #1 seed in the East.
Hey.
Bird was the All-Star Game MVP, but Philadelphia retaliated for a close defeat in the Eastern Finals. And this time, they won in 7 games. The year after, the Celtics regressed even more, finishing as a 3rd seed and getting swept in the 2nd round by the Milwaukee Bucks. After that, Coach Bill Fitch resigned and was replaced by Casey Jones.
Why did he resign? Y'all know, let me know in the comment
Bill
section.
Russell era as a player. The change bore fruit. The team was
Why would he
refreshed
resign?
with young shooter Danny Ainge and veteran point guard
Danny Ainge!
played the best basketball in the NBA, finishing with a 62-20 record. After 3 years of coming in second, Larry Bird finally won the regular season MVP with 24.2 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 6.6.
Bro, these stats are so crazy to me. I literally thought all he could do was score and just shoot when he scores. I didn't think he could do anything else, bro.
Assists on average. The Celtics steamrolled to the finals, where a known foe awaited. It was, of course,
Magic Johnson.
The title was decided in Game 7, where Larry Bird led the Celtics to their 15th NBA title. Bird was named the Finals MVP, and he finally had his revenge over Magic, who defeated him in the NCAA Finals of 1979. The following season, the Celtics were even better in the regular season. Bird repeated as MVP, and McHale repeated as the 6th Man of the Year. They got to the finals again. The same.
This slap pass is crazy. I made a video about it. Go check it out.
14 in a game that was dubbed the Memorial Day Massacre. It seemed like the Celtics were going to
Memorial Day Massacre. What is that? What is that?
dominate the Lakers and repeat as champions. However, the Lakers had other plans, and especially Kareem was determined to defeat the Celtics. Kareem averaged 25.7 points, 9 rebounds,
Kareem!
assists in 6 games, on 60% shooting. And the Lakers...
Bro, Bird almost got the same shit. That's crazy.
The Celtics, for the first time in 9 tries. 1986, the greatest Celtics team ever and the pinnacle of Bird's career. After the finals loss, Auerbach made another clever move. He traded Cedric Maxwell to the Clippers for Bill Walton, once one of the most talented centers in the league, who accepted the role of a 6th man on the Celtics, while Kevin McHale moved to the starting lineup. The Celtics won 50 out of 51 home games that year, which is a record that still stands and likely will never be broken. Larry Bird experienced the absolute peak of his game and basketball brilliance in 85-86.
They won 50 out of 51 games?
And became the only player other than Wilt and Bill Russell.
Home games?
3 straight seasons.
That's crazy.
The 85-86 season birthed several games that proved the endless basketball genius of Larry Bird. Most notable is the left-handed game. Before the game against Portland, Bird surprised his teammates and journalists by saying that he would shoot the whole game with his left hand because he wanted to motivate himself for a relatively meaningless regular season game. How much did he score? Just 47 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists,
Ain't no
a
way.
game-winning shot, and 22 points scored with his left hand out of sheer boredom and fun. And those are the reasons why he was called Larry Legend. Apart from that, he also scored a career-high 60 points on the Atlanta Hawks earlier in the season. Almost everything he put up toward the basket went in, and he got into such a zone that the Hawks bench jumped off their chairs and cheered, after which they received hefty penalties from the Hawks coach, Mike Fratello. Throughout the game, the commentator noted that what he was watching was the biggest shooting exhibition in basketball history, and at the time, it truly was. The Celtics won 67 games in the regular season and lost just 1 game in the playoffs on their way to the finals. There, they would be greeted by the Twin Towers of Houston, Ralph Sampson, and Hakeem Olajuwon, who defeated the Lakers in the West Finals. But nobody could touch the Celtics that season, who were one of the most talented teams.
Skyhook.
Bird was 2 rebounds and 3 assists shy of averaging a triple-double in the finals, and he deservedly won his 2nd Finals MVP. Final years, injuries, and the Dream Team. In 1987, the Celtics had a very difficult season. Their number 2 pick, Len Bias, tragically passed away after the draft. And they suffered many injuries during the season and the playoffs. But Larry Bird was too good, and they still advanced to the finals after 2 7-game series against the Bucks and the bad boy Pistons, where Bird made one of the most legendary plays and stole the inbound.
Oh yeah, I saw this shit. Yeah.
That won a crucial game.
Then he got blocked right before that or something.
In the finals again, it was the Lakers for the 3rd time in 4 years. Because LA was much more rested coming to the finals, the Celtics did not have enough gas in the tank to stop the fast-paced showtime. Bird delivered another 24, 10, and 5 for the series, but it wasn't good enough, and Magic got the best of him once again. Next year, Bird had maybe one of the best statistical years of his career. He averaged 30 points on 50, 40, and 90 shooting, a feat he achieved the previous year as well, proving that he's the best shooter who ever played at the time. The Celtics reached the conference finals, but it would be their last hurrah as the Pistons finally got over the hump and managed to beat them. In the offseason, Bird sustained a severe back injury from chopping wood back home in Indiana. He was one of the best basketball players in the world, who had millions of dollars, but he was still the hick from French Lick, who chopped his own wood when he needed to, and I respect him even more for that. The back injury and surgery on both Achilles tendons caused him to miss almost the entire 88-89 season. However, even debilitated, Bird was better than most players in the league, and despite needing to stretch for more than 2 hours to be able to run, he was still very productive. He was named an All-Star each of the last 3 seasons, along with some memorable performances, like a game in the 1991 playoffs where he suffered a concussion, but then Reed came back.
Yeah, remember that?
Scored 17 points in the
second. And he came back. It was a weirdo.
Unfortunately, the toll on his body was getting too much to bear, and he ended his career in 1992 when he finally became teammates with his good friend Magic Johnson on the Dream Team. Bird flew off into the sunset with the gold in Barcelona, retiring as the best small forward and the best shooter to ever play. Legacy. Trash-talking god. Top 10 player ever. One of the most famous Larry Bird trash-talking stories is from the 1986 three-point shooting contest when the legend walked into the locker room and asked all the other participants who was coming in second after him. Of course, he went on and swished near every three-pointer and won, all without taking his jacket.
This dude, look, this video is really explaining this dude is like nice as fuck. Like, his career in the NBA has too many highlights. You know what I'm saying? Like, too many events, too many astonishing things, too many like, what the fuck? Like, is this dude human type? You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude's up there, bro. He's literally like top 5, easy.
Win the three-point shooting competition the next 2 years as well. And before Reggie Miller came along, there was no argument who's the best shooter ever. On the 26th of December, 1990, Indiana's Chuck the Rifleman Person said he's going bird hunting before the Celtics game. Bird replied that he got a Christmas present for him. And while Chuck was on the bench, Bird got the ball in the corner just in front of the Pacers bench. He hit the jump shot, turned to Chuck, and said, "Merry effing Christmas." And that's who Larry Bird was. And how he talked. He was the ultimate competitor, and he had all the skills in the world to back it up. He'd tell players where he would get the ball, what he was going to do, and then do it. And there was nothing they could do to stop him. He accused the opposing team of putting a white guy to guard him because he felt that was disrespectful. And if you watch Space Jam, you know that Larry isn't white. He's clear. Bird would drink half the ball under the table. Sometimes he'd fight people in the bar as well, and then go to the game the next day and dominate, as if nothing happened. Bird was a unique player, and there was nobody like him. At first glance, his moves look almost clumsy, far from physically dominant or athletic. He rarely dunked. His vertical was average at best. He never played exceptionally fast. From the neck down, in basketball terms, he was nothing special. From the neck up, until the end of his fingertips, he was pure genius. There's no doubt that he would be a great player in today's era, where we can see players like Doncic and Jokic dominate the game without great physical talent. Bird was one of the top 10 players who ever played, and one of the best pure shooters ever. He was the best player in the NBA for almost an entire decade, despite the brilliance from Magic and the athleticism of Michael Jordan. And like Magic Johnson said, there will never be another Larry Bird.
That's crazy. Hey, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who you taking, bruh. Larry Bird or LeBron? Like, is he really better than LeBron? And don't hate. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, gang.